What's going on, guys? RBG here, bringing you a trailer breakdown on Transformers Rise of the Beast. Since we got that first teaser, we have been patiently waiting to see what Paramount was going to drop and if it'll have just as much hype. And I know a lot of you were a bit disappointed in the 30-second snippet we got at this year's Super Bowl, but in my honest opinion, I think there was a lot shown within that small window of time, and I can't wait to show you guys what I found, so stay tuned. Now, before we get started on the video, I gotta give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, TubeBuddy. As a successful YouTube user, I often get questions asking what I use to get my videos tons of views, and the answer to that is TubeBuddy. This thing has helped me take my channel to the next level in ways I never imagined. It's a browser extension that helps new and experienced YouTubers grow fast and optimize their channels. I've been using this extension for years and it's constantly getting updated with new features, like the SEO tool that helps me come up with the perfect title, description, and tags to get more people to click on my videos. It even provides you with analytics beside your videos to see how much traffic your video is generating from various social media sites. The extension is absolutely free, but as a special offer, we're giving a 50% discount for channels that have less than 1,000 subscribers that purchase the Pro upgrade. All you have to do is enter in the code RisingStarBuddy. So if you're interested in starting a YouTube channel or taking your content to the next level, download the extension now. You can do so by clicking on this link that'll be provided in the description of this video. But yeah, guys, we finally got a follow-up trailer, or should I say TV spot, for Transformers Rise of the Beast. And some fans aren't happy with the amount of new things that were shown off in it. Considering we had to wait 2 months to see what else will be in this upcoming film, it's understandable why it didn't get the same amount of love as the first trailer. We didn't get any close-ups or dialogue of the Maximals in their robot modes. Most of the focus was on the Autobot Mirage. And based on the teaser we got leading into this TV spot, I already expected it to turn out this way. If you notice, they show a brief animation of the Rise of the Beast logo, and we see the Autobot insignia change into the Porsche logo. And if you've been paying attention to the news on this film, or at least on the vehicle side of things, you know that Mirage will be sporting a Porsche alt mode as opposed to his F1 racer he had during the G1 era. That's been a controversial topic of conversation since the Porsche originally belonged to someone else in the 80s cartoon. But this is what the studio has decided to go with, since the F1 racer isn't a street legal vehicle. So yeah, this is why I knew Mirage is going to be a central focus in this trailer, and he's going to most likely be a primary robot in the actual movie, which is a good idea. Like, I'll say this till I'm blue in the face. Other robots deserve to get more shine outside of Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. Since the live-action movies have flourished into what they are now, Prime and more so B have taken the spotlight, while other characters have played second fiddle. It's almost like the producers took a page out of the Fox X-Men movies book, where they remind us that the other Autobots are there by briefly showcasing their abilities with a few one-liners, and they mysteriously vanish by the time the next installment rolls around. It's as weird as it is frustrating. It also doesn't help that the human protagonists who build a bond with the main bot in question are pretty much interchangeable. So it's nice to see us not only get a new human protagonist, but also a different Autobot to accompany them on their new adventure. And I'm gonna just say this now. Once this film drops, Mirage's stock is gonna go through the roof. Like, don't get me wrong, he's a pretty popular character already, but his notoriety is gonna absolutely skyrocket after this, because as the years progress, we get newer and younger Transformers fans who watch these movies. Fans who were kids during the Bay film era got introduced to the franchise and characters like Bumblebee and became their favorite character. And now we're gonna see that same effect happen for this generation of kids when it comes to Mirage. And I also want to point something out. The more I look at this guy's design, the more I think he can be an amalgamation of different characters put together, because outside of his classic color, he doesn't really look like his classic G1 design or any iteration I've seen in the past. We've kind of already deduced that he'll be a callback to G1 Jazz since he has the Porsche alt mode while featuring his classic silver and blue Mirage color scheme. But I also believe that he'll be taking heavy inspirations from a newer character that's just been introduced, and that is Thrash from Transformers Earthspark. Like, I'm not sure if I'm reaching with this, but I honestly believe Hasbro and Paramount deliberately based Mirage's robot design off of this particular character. They just didn't flat out name him as such. They have these similar builds and faces, and we've seen similar instances of Hasbro going out of their way to add a bit of uniformity across all their Transformers media, where characters such as Optimus and Bumblebee look similar across the movies, cartoons, and video games. It's been proven to be a genius marketing strategy where it convinces casual goers that they're watching a crossover or something that could be in the same continuity, even though it isn't. That's why they've been able to sell a lot of the movie's toys under the Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures toy line, because although the figures feature more detail, they still have similar aesthetics to the cartoons. So I wouldn't be surprised if TF Earthspark gets a boost in views after this movie comes out. I can see kids going, "Oh look, it's Mirage," when they see Thrash in a commercial. But anyways, in the new TV spot, we get a good idea of what his personality would consist of through his dialogue. As you know, he'll be voiced by comedian and former Saturday Night Live actor Pete Davidson. And after hearing that he'd be lending his voice to bring this character to life on the silver screen, I had a nagging suspicion that this version of Mirage would be a lot more youthful than the one we're accustomed to in other continuities. Because although he's knocking on 30, Pete Davidson still has a very young and fun-going personality. From what I've seen, he seems to be a very likable guy, if you're not mad at him for bagging all the hot celebrity chicks that you're crushing on. And his comedic timing is on point, so that's gonna add to the buddy chemistry between Mirage and his human partner Noah Diaz, especially since Noah's actor Anthony Ramos seems to be around the same age range as Pete Davidson. I'd also like to add that both actors are from New York, which is where a large chunk of Transformers Rise of the Beast will be taking place, so the accents won't be much of a factor there, and it'll make sense for Mirage to sound like a New Yorker since he's in that area and will most likely take a liking to the culture. We've seen this in previous movies with characters such as Jazz, and the movie is said to take place during the 90s in Brooklyn, so I expect to hear a lot of pop culture references. I would be surprised if they referenced the late Notorious B.I.G. since his song Juicy has been used in both trailers so far, and he himself was a Brooklyn native. If you don't know, now you know. But anyways, we see our boy Mirage formally introducing himself to Noah, and the first thing you'll notice is the location. It looks awfully similar to the area we see Bumblebee transforming in during the first reveal trailer. So if my assumptions are correct, then it's likely that Mirage took him to the secret location or hideout of the Autobots. I'm also going to throw a theory out there that this awesome transformation sequence with Optimus from the first trailer was also at that hideout, except it was probably outside since you can see the night sky. This will probably be just like the first movie where the human protagonist gets taken to meet the rest of the Autobots in that awesome transforming montage. We've already seen the first movie reference where we see Noah examining the Autobot logo on the steering wheel, similar to how Sam did it. But moving on, we gotta talk about this awesome shot of Bumblebee getting ready to jump out of this cargo plane. And I already know what you're thinking. This reminds you of that cool sequence from Revenge of the Fallen where we see Optimus drop out of the plane while in truck mode and transform into his robot mode. I totally feel you on that one. But in my honest opinion, this reminds me of something else. Does anybody remember that Dark of the Moon video game? And that first mission where we see B jumping out of a cargo plane? Yeah, that instantly came to mind when I saw Bumblebee do the same thing in the trailer. It's almost like this movie is referencing that scene in particular. Like, not only does this sequence feature the same character performing the stunt, it also features the same Transformer who transported B in the video game, and that is Stratosphere. He was exclusively featured in the Dark of the Moon tie-in game and comics, but this time around he'll finally make a live-action appearance. He's said to be voiced by John DiMaggio, who voiced other characters from the previous films, most notably Leadfoot and Crosshairs. Anyways, Stratosphere is capable of transporting an entire fleet of Autobots across the globe, which he'll be doing when the team needs to travel to Peru where they meet up with the Maximals. In the Dark of the Moon game and the comics, he was a C-130 Hercules military transport, but in this film he looks like he'll be using an older type. Like, I'm not sure the exact model, but it resembles that of the Fairchild flying boxcar, which was developed during World War II. And seeing that he's using this older version of an aircraft, this leads me to believe that he'll act like an old timer similar to Jetfire from Revenge of the Fallen. But anyways, that's all I got for you guys. And once again, I know that the trailer was a bit short and it may have seemed like a waste of money, but I'm digging the slower rollout for this. I don't want to see all the good shots before the movie drops. That sin was committed over and over by the Bay films that felt the need to show us everything in the trailers. I just want to be surprised for once. So yeah, but anyways, what are your thoughts on these details? Do you think Mirage will become an instant favorite to the new generation of fans similar to how Bumblebee did in the earlier films? Let me know down in the comments below. As always, I appreciate it if you like or dislike the video. It doesn't have to be a thumbs up, it can be a thumbs down. But if you really enjoyed it, I ask that you share it on all the different social media platforms with all your friends and followers. Sharing really makes a difference. But once again, this is your boy RBG, aka The Random Black Gamer, signing out on another video. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.